So you want to buy a horse. And how do you go about doing that? There was a time when you could, they called it the nickel ads. You could pick up that newspaper and you could find, there was always horses for sale in there, and you could find one for $500 and kind of rock on. And the horse probably wasn't any good, but you get yourself in a horse. That just doesn't happen that way anymore. So now you have to kind of horse shop, and I think that's personally, I think that's a good thing. It makes it harder for people that sell horses, but it's better for the buyer that you got to do some horse shopping. So what all is there entailed in horse shopping? Well, we just did a little video. We talked about horse auctions. There's an option for you. I don't think it's a particularly good one, but it's one out there. The internet creates this huge marketplace for horses where you can. I won't even try to name all of the sites that are on there, but there's sites all over for buying horses. You can get video, you can get this, you can get that, people talking about the horses, yada, 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 yada. There again, you're horse shopping. And no matter how you do it, even if you just go to, you say, well, there's bound to be a horse trainer around here somewhere. Horse trainers always have horses for sale. And you find one, local horse trainer, and you go and say, what do you have for sale? And they'll show you a handful of them. That's another way, and that's actually probably your best bet. And I'll explain why. But no matter what you're doing, you need to be educated about what you're buying, how you're buying, what the market is, what things are going on. It's a pretty big investment, a horse is. And so you need to know what you're up to. And I understand that not everybody in the world has got a lifetime of experience at it like I do. So what do you do then? Well, find somebody that's got a lifetime of experience and get their help. Whether you got to buy them a case of beer or you got to pay them a day wage, whatever the deal is, get them to come and evaluate a horse for you and help you out. I think that's really the best bet, the best way to go with these kind of a deal. And I think even if you feel like you do have a lot of experience, it's still probably worth your money to get some help, because there's all kinds of things that you may not notice. I rode a horse for a lady early this winter, and she just bought him, and she just loved him to death, and this and that and the other. And I said something about his crooked foot, and she said, well, I didn't notice he had a crooked foot. And I said, well, I sure as heck did. He's got a crooked foot. And she said, well, the guy selling him he never mentioned anything about that. Well, why would he? Like, if you're selling a pickup and nobody notices the dent in it, why do you mention it? And so those are things you gotta look out for. X-rays are a big deal. I've bought and sold horses my whole life. I never ever, and I've bought a lot of them over the phone, never even seen the horse, just rolled with it. I don't think that's a real smart thing for a lot of people to do, but I've always been in a situation when I've done that where I could make it work. But I've never had one x-rayed. Last year I bought a horse, didn't have it x-rayed, got it home, and it had a broken coffin bone. And by the time I figured out that it had a broken coffin bone, it was way too late for me to try to turn the horse back, for one, and for two, it was my own fault. I didn't have the horse x-rayed. I didn't have him vetted. I just bought him. So anyway, we got him healed up, got out of the deal. It all worked out, sort of. But I learned pretty quick with some things. From now on, I'll have them x-rayed. X-rays are really not that expensive when it comes down to the alternative. So get them x-rayed, get them vetted, and get somebody on your team that has a lot of experience with the horse world, with conformation, with lameness, with all kinds of things like that, and somebody that's got a lot of experience with what the market is and what the market's doing. And that's something that you can learn yourself too, that the market's not that hard to figure out. You just got to study that. Okay, well, 7-year-old mares that are bred like thus, they're kind of going in this range, and 12-year-old geldings, they're kind of going in this range, and it's just a matter of figuring out what the market is and where you fit in that market. But do your research and get somebody to help you, and it'll save you a lot of money and a lot of heartache.